I was leaving. That's why I was late getting out of the house.
We take it.
From Erie Zone Government Access, Channel 9, from the City Hall Council Chambers, it's time once again for the Taxpayers Hotline Show. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host.
Full house,
Yeah,
right?
right.
And I'd like to, this is Taxpayer Hotline. City Councilman Kaz Gutowski with my friends.
Richard Wagner.
And Ron Stemka.
Now, the rules are very simple. This is your show. You have 1 hour, commercial free. No weather reports, no sports reports. You can talk about anything you want, just keep it in the bounds of good taste. And
10-minute time limit.
well, you're going to be the timekeeper.
Okay, there's the clock.
Okay. We have a timekeeper, 10 minutes. I think we had a phone call earlier. I was a little late getting down. I had a little personal problem. We're okay now. So we'll be on just a little bit longer.
Okay, good.
Well,
Yeah.
what a week, huh?
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. I mean, there was a couple good things, I think. You know, the McCormick's maybe taking
Taking over the team, yeah.
the team. I mean, that's good because we didn't want to lose them. I know that. And,
We're always going to have hockey. You know that.
well, yeah, but,
You guys are old. You know, I've been around long enough to know that with a brand new arena, you know, there's leagues salivating to get near.
oh, well, yeah.
We're all the same age, guys.
But until we get
Yeah.
until we get the big arena,
Yeah.
and a corresponding building next door, we'll probably never, you know, the cup's going to be a elusive,
It still has a pretty good value attached to it. You know, when
what's that?
that hockey team.
Oh, yeah, the hockey team's good. You know, everybody wants to see the cup here. That's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Where do they play those guys to play a game? $40, I heard?
No, they get more than that. They're stipend, because I think it's a weird situation, because, and I'm not familiar with it exactly, unlike the Seawolves, which are pros,
Right.
and usually, unless they got a major league contract, they receive minor league salary, which is set by the, you know, players union and all that. These kids technically are amateurs, but I think they get a stipend, and so, you know, maybe it gets put away until they, but it's a weird situation, because they're kind of like, they're not minor league. They're not like the old teams we had, you know.
Aren't they a high school or so? I mean,
Technically, yeah, they can only play so long and all that.
Yeah.
So, you know, if they don't make it here, they either go to they either get a real job, go to minor league hockey, or a lot of them, pretty much like, you know, the kid they all talk about, McDavid kid. He's a sure lock to, you know, get in the NHL. Now, whether he stays, no one can predict anything. You know, he looks like a sure bet, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, even the Bayhawks, they can only have so many NBA guys sent down, and the rest of them are they're on minor league contracts. Some guys can make more in Europe actually than they can in Erie,
Oh, okay.
but they feel they're closer to the NBA here. So there's a lot of weird circumstances.
Yeah.
Probably the guys who don't get paid a lot are the minor league football guys.
Okay. Yeah. I'd have to agree with that. I don't know, but
Speaking of good news, though, I was glad that they closed that bar temporarily down on.
Are you sure it's closed?
Well, it was closed temporarily.
But remember 2 weeks ago, they busted it, next day they were open.
Yeah, well, they said they were very cautious that it was temporary, okay? But the fact that I think it's got the attention of the media and it's got the attention of the authorities a little bit more, and I have called off on my own time various departments of the Commonwealth. I think maybe now, you know, the process will be speeded up a little bit.
Especially that guy running down the street. He's like shooting away like nothing's going on. You know?
Well, if you remember that there was one on Buffalo Road, took 3 years, or two and a half to 3 years.
This is even more so than that one, I think.
Well, they all have their, you know what, it's escalating. It's a different world today. It's the problems that were there 5 years ago are, you know, like, you know, we just had a meeting and they're talking about the type of drugs we're dealing with, you know.
yeah.
We thought the 60s were wild with, you know, marijuana and hallucinogenic drugs. Now they're talking about the old
Heavy stuff.
ones coming back again, heroin, you know.
Yeah, it's too bad, and it really does the pushers and what have you seem to control some of these areas. And
Yeah, people think when you bring up the bad that you're being negative. It's not about being negative. It's facing reality that we got a lot of work to do in the neighborhood watches and the Sisters of St. Joseph, different groups are going to have to work hard.
yeah, oh yeah.
Go ahead, caller.
Just a reminder, Kaz, we're having our neighborhood watch meeting tonight,
Okay, that's at what time again?
7 o'clock.
Okay, I think I'm going to be there.
Pardon?
I think I will be there tonight.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, hopefully, it should be I don't know if we got a lot of complaints anymore, but,
Oh, we probably do. Probably parking complaints.
yeah, the cold weather's keeping a lot of the other ones down.
Now, when you have 6 cars, 6, 7, 8 cars to a house where there's only supposed to be 3 kids.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of complaints about tight streets up there again.
Yeah, you can't get a fire truck through. You can't get a garbage truck through.
No, I've been talking to the parking authority about seeing what we can do in the future to, loosen that up a little bit.
Yeah, 3 kids can't be driving 6 and 7 cars.
No, it's nobody wants to move, and it's I was through some parts of the city where you actually couldn't move your car at all.
Well,
They wonder why the.
or zoning would do their job.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I don't. They blame it on everybody blames it, but somebody's going to have to take a step forward because we got streets that our guys can't go through.
That's right. It's a problem.
And I'm hearing from good citizens that say they're disappointed. I get emails and calls at home that we're not doing enough, and we should not be afraid of the ones we irritate because there's more that we don't irritate.
Right. And Mercier's is complaining about money.
Yeah, and they got all that money for the new ice rink.
If get the kids back on campus. There's a lot of room up on campus. Let them pay. Get them out of the residential area.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said. If you go to Pittsburgh, you'd be surprised. They have a lot of parking is at a premium in the city of Pittsburgh, and they got a lot more colleges than we do, but still the same problems we do. And you'd be surprised how many parking zones they have, neighborhood parking zones.
Yeah, the campus is not north of 38th Street.
No.
They have their campus. We have our residential area.
Well, I'm amazed that people said I should have thought of that when I moved, but I didn't envision Barron coming all the way into this part of the city.
Oh, yeah.
Ma'am, last week I think there was a caller that said that Mercier's bought houses on Parade Boulevard and is like renting them to some of the faculty and stuff. Do you know anything about that?
That's probably true. We'll find out tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I tried to find it. I wasn't having any luck, but we're gonna.
Well, you had a caller last week that thought that Mercyhurst is for progress.
Yeah.
He was getting me irritated, as well as probably other listeners. If he had the same problem as the residents do, with these kids, he'd have a different story.
Yeah, he was entitled to his opinion, but blaming me for, when I moved, there was a different world in a different area.
You can tell by what he was saying, he had no concept what goes on in this area.
Ma'am, one thing that we don't have and no one pushes for is quiet enjoyment of your property. And you're entitled to that. And if you bumped up next to a commercial zone, you could understand some noise and clatter from trucks and what have you. But when you're in a residential zone that's overpopulated with kids, it's not right. And you don't get the quiet enjoyment of your property and what you pay taxes for. And it's really wrong.
And kids walking down the street.
Yeah.
They closed Mercyhurst because of the weather.
Yeah.
Kids walking down the streets. 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, it was 7, 10 degrees below zero.
They probably didn't have jackets on.
Oh, they had beer cans in their hand and
Enough alcohol.
There you go.
Yeah.
unreal.
I'll see you tonight, ma'am.
Good luck.
Thanks, bye.
Okay, about this quiz program we're going on. Okay, I can see Scott's taking it. He'll make something out of it. But the state senator wants authority. Now, I think authority is the biggest problem we have.
What do you mean he wants authority?
He wants an authority for that quiz program. Now, wait, that's just setting up like the rest of these authority. Like the prime example, here you got the water authority. City council can't say nothing. He runs, he gets 180,000, okay, and they're running rapid, do what they want to do, $40 million in the summer high, okay? Do we want the same thing, to have an authority, and your city council is giving up their freedoms of what they want to do with this money and control of it?
Well, I think in fairness to the senator, he's basing it, if you remember, the only one that successfully did it so far is Allentown, okay? Bethlehem was next in line. I think they got it, though, okay? They got it. We didn't get it because for whatever reason, our paperwork wasn't right. So Bethlehem and somebody else on the east got it.
What's wrong with the paperwork?
Well,
What did they do wrong?
I never saw it. Well, I tell you what it was. Now I remember. It's exactly what you were talking about. Okay, Allentown did it successfully. We were told by various people that if it came around to another round, they were looking at east-west, okay? But the way the CRIZ is written, it wouldn't affect Philadelphia or Pittsburgh. So, just doing a quick geography test, wherever you want to divide western Pennsylvania, name me one city outside of Pittsburgh. Okay, name me a couple.
Erie and Pittsburgh.
Well, you got Johnstown, Altoona, right?
I'm talking half the state.
But I'm saying they're in this half too, okay? But of all, there's not a lot of large cities that compete with us. You got Greensburg and all those around Washington, PA, and all that. I mean, they're all eligible. But Erie's the biggest. We had a lot of shovel-ready projects, which they wanted to see. And so it would have been a win-win. We got, whether you agree with it or not, okay? We're not going to get into that, but you have the project that the Civic Center is working on. You had Nick Scott. You had the GAF property, the hotel, all that. Those things are all in the works, okay, ready to go. And we would have been a good line. Well, what I understand we did was you had to have somebody, an authority, set up to run it. We put ours under the sewer authority, which I guess...
With the sewer authority...
Well, that's what the state says. I think it was a sewer authority. I don't want to be wrong. I'll check on this.
You got city council here, put a couple people...
Yeah, but the state wanted an authority. You can't... See, that's another thing. You can't put... They don't want, office holders on authorities. It destroys the whole purpose of them. It's like putting me on the zoning board, okay, then asking me to vote on something. You get what I'm saying, Rich, right? So, when you have an authority, you want separate. You don't want anybody that's tied down.
But they're going to open up the door and say...
Well, I understand,
How many people on authority?
I don't even know what...
How many people on authority, like the airport authority, the water authority?
Well, they vary now. That one's been altered because of the county, and so has the water authority over the years. Parking authority, I think it's, I'm going to say 6 or, I think 7, okay?
I think it's always an odd amount.
Yeah, it has to be. But what I'm saying is that the state demanded authority. Well, we gave it to the sewer. That's not really their expertise. They wanted to see an independent group of people, running the project, sort of like overseeing it. Now, we have to play by their rules. It's their money, their gold, okay? You don't have to agree with it. I don't agree with it, but that's the way they want it.
I want to see authority. What they do, they put their friends in there, and they're in there forever. Look, how long has this guy been?
Well, you don't have to make this authority. You wouldn't have to necessarily pay him. Okay, it's more of an oversight. There are authorities that don't get paid. Parking authority don't get paid. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, would any of you guys know? You're talking about redevelopment and stuff. Was it like an iron smelting plant near Albion?
Yeah, they were gonna build one, or they didn't build? They were thinking about it.
Yeah, that was a Develop Erie project being talked about by John Elliott, and I think it was still up in the air.
Yeah, they had to run water out there and everything, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the Canadian company, I don't think Erie Albion was the only location they were looking at. I think there were maybe 4 or 5 that they were looking at, but I haven't heard anything about it since Mr. Elliott left, and so I don't know where that stands with Develop Erie.
What did you want to know about it, sir?
Oh, it's just a stat. I mean, is this just another one of these, the juice plant or the Kohler project?
Yeah, we seem to be having bad luck on some areas. Some of them are out of our control, like when we talked about, if you go way back, you remember they had the steel mill, they had the beer plant, you had the Saturn plant, and a lot of those, we did good work in trying to get them here, but we were up against bigger things like, state rules on unions, unemployment, all kinds of issues, But, the juice plant, that's a lack of, somebody didn't do their homework, including the governor at the time who brought him here. And everybody thought he was vetted already,
The grocery store on Parade Street lost its legs.
Yeah, and we did have somebody wanted to go in and do it.
Yeah, Sessler's were going to do it.
Yeah.
They were going to build a market there, and.
Guy that had the marina.
Are you in favor of that smelting plant, sir?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it sounds like jobs and
Yeah.
water, running water to them, and, there's like train tracks, infrastructure there already.
Yeah, at least nobody screwed up the potato factory. That looks to be expanding, actually.
Maybe we're coming out good.
I'm in favor of, if Harbor Creek doesn't want that rail line, I'm on record as saying I wouldn't mind seeing that come to Erie.
Yeah, but how far, what's the distance for that?
There's all kinds of room. I know the mayor doesn't think there's room, but I would say between Downing Avenue and probably by the McBride Viaduct. And,
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of room right there.
Yeah, and we never saw the report to say why we are not a preferred site. We may not be preferred, but let's find out what we would have to do to make it work, because I'm not saying that I want to see everything come here. I think, that east side and that area there was set up for industry. It's zoned right and everything. We could use the jobs down there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as far as we haven't lost any money. We haven't invested in anything, any kind of research into this, the Albion smelting thing.
No, I think that was like Richard said here. That was
Develop Erie. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's still our area money. I mean, I don't know if it's coming out of the city, but, who... I don't think they research money into...
Maybe I can give her a call. I think I got to check. I might be liaison to that. It's kind of, there's no specific liaison for that, but maybe I'll give her a call and see if I can find out what the legs are on some of these projects, if they're still in the hopper or...
And I sit at night and watch TV and see how New York is advertising for tax breaks and what have you to come and locate in New York State, and I don't see anything like that from Pennsylvania.
No, they want business.
Yeah, New York's really aggressively trying to get these businesses, and if that's our competition, it appears to me that they might be doing a better job than some of our people, getting the word out, know.
You see the paper this morning what the governor wants?
What?
Put 6% sales tax on clothing.
Oh.
And he's got a big list, a wish list.
Well, if he does that up here, that's going to hurt the
Economy.
Peach Street area.
Yeah, but I agree with you about manufacturing. That's the key to our success.
Yeah, that's the kind of jobs we need.
Comeback, and we need it. We need an economic comeback.
What's sad is you look at the latest thing with the post office going out. That's a few more jobs. That another 100 here, another 100 there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They add up. They really.
Now, what's the population area right now?
Erie, probably about 100. Well,
all these
101 to 102,000, I'd say.
All the people coming in, the foreigners and everything like that, I thought that would bring it up.
You have any more comments, sir?
Yeah, as long as we don't, we haven't, like the juice plant, we did lose money, correct?
Yeah, there was money involved.
Dollars that was just gone that the guy ripped off.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
What was sad about the Kohler project?
And that's another thing I was going to bring up. The Kohler project, we lost money on that too.
Yeah, and you know what you really don't see in that whole issue is that the impact it had on the areas affected. All these people were told, including my Legion Club at the time, post 11, that you were gone. Don't plan on sitting around. You're going to be gone. It's going to be, condemned and all that. And you caused a lot of problems with different businesses that, were looking for other sites or just decided to shut down or, hey, you can name them, anything from the taverns that existed around there to the small businesses.
Shut down on Peach Street. You got everything down there.
Well, I mean, what they were going to do, I mean, basically, they were telling different areas that, you're going down, so you got to move. People had to do studies, economic studies, and
Now it's surface parking. I mean, that's really a shame.
now the plan is dead and everybody's safe. That's
The Kohler plant, if I'm correct, it shut down in 1979.
Yeah,
Pardon, what was that, sir?
79.
When it closed?
And the Kohler plant was done.
You mean making beer?
Yes.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Okay, so I mean, they just missed probably maybe 5, 7, 10 years. That plant would have been still viable as like a craft brewing site.
Yeah, it's a shame that the brewery closed when it did.
And they would have brewed what kind of beer they would have wanted, and they would have done fine.
Well, the plan they had for the factory wasn't a bad one. They were going to save parts of it. So, who knows, you could have put like a small brewery in there that could have grown in time,
Oh yeah, any of these craft breweries, yeah, they would have went right in there and said, yeah, we're going to make, how many ever, thousands of kegs that they brew, that we're going to just do that right here, and it would have survived.
Yeah, now you look at it's an empty parking lot, and
Yep, it's just a window that we missed, just probably, like I said, maybe 5, 7 years.
I'm sad. I guess my age is my problem, but I think back of how many beautiful buildings and factories that we didn't have a plan for that are gone now. I mean, that you go to other towns, and if you go to Minneapolis, they still have the old Ham's Brewery plant sitting up on a hill, and they're trying to get use out of it. But we've torn down our theaters, our beer plants, everything. If you're my age, you can barely remember the Wayne beer plant that was on Parade Street, and that's an empty field.
Yep. Well, it's from what I heard, the Kohler beer, it was fresh around here. It was the best beer that you could get in the city.
Probably, yeah.
Give you a hell of a headache.
It was fresh. It was right there. I mean, it wasn't being shipped or.
You know what, though? I don't think we were loyal to our local beer. My wife comes from a little town in Pennsylvania that's real loyal to their brewery. I mean, it's almost heresy to buy another beer in the town. But here, even and I plead guilty because when I was a young kid, the last thing on my mind was buying a Kohler beer. I had to be smart and buy the Heineken or the
Big stuff.
the Michelob or something, and I guess I'm to blame too because we didn't support it the way we should have.
Yep.
And
exactly.
they start spreading.
The best beer, but we just didn't know it. We thought Kohler was our grandfather's beer.
Yeah. And then you go back to the old timers, they loved the Wayne beer. They talk about that one.
Yep.
Yeah, and I blame myself. I'm part of that problem because my generation thought, it wasn't cool to drink, like you say, our grandfather's beer.
Yep. Before I go, it's a shame that these Good Sense grocery stores are closing too.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's right up by my That's right up by my house.
Yeah.
I hope Sanders or somebody moves into there because that's really needed up there, Kaz.
Yeah,
grocery store up there.
I don't know what Sanders' plans are now that he closed his other place, but yeah, that one up there might be. You got the senior housing near there.
That would be perfect.
They need a place to go, and I still say on the east side, there's less grocery stores than when I moved there. Because we lost Paul Bunyan's, and we lost a couple of other ones around the area. So we are short.
That's the third and fourth market that's closed in Erie in the last year. Bradley's on 8th Street. Sanders on East 6th Street. Now these two Good Sense or whatever they were called, and that one was out
East Grandview area.
East Grandview, and then the other one was in the West Erie Plaza. And that's 4 markets. And I keep hearing talk about we're turning into a food desert for people that would like to go get fresh produce and stuff, and nobody does anything. And what happens? We lose 2 more markets. I mean, it's crazy. Maybe, Kaz, when this fellow that's talking about developing 13th and Peach,
yeah,
Mr. Griffin, maybe it's time to try and get a nice small market in there. Talk to the auditories on Sassafras and some of the other Sanders. Maybe they could form a coalition and get a nice little market in there and start something. That would help that project a lot. But 4 markets in the last year, that's too many, So, something to think about.
I agree totally.
Yeah.
Hey, good talking to you guys.
You
All
too.
right.
Thank you for your comments.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I forgot, I meant to add that in my notes. I said, here we go again, now that plaza, by some accounts, for years they thought Kmart was going to move out because you had the Walmart function. We're lucky that we still have Kmarts and Walmarts. A lot of towns, Kmart's disappeared. That plaza would be really...
Oh, yeah. Devastated.
Go ahead, caller.
Talking about markets, what do you make of Erie County Farms' inability to pay their bill with Smith's provision?
On TV, yeah.
I didn't hear that.
What was happening?
Smith's Provision, they didn't pay the bill.
Over the weekend,
Lee County Farm, she wasn't paying the bill.
She wasn't paying her bill.
broke off relations. They're not going to be selling to Erie County Farms because Erie County Farms was unable to pay a $40,000 bill. They didn't make, Smith's tried to make payment arrangements, but Erie County Farms couldn't come up with an arrangement that was satisfactory to Smith's.
I missed that. That was over the weekend. Yeah.
I missed that too.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was in the paper. I didn't look in the paper, but see if you can find out more about that, because I'd hate to see Erie County Farms go bankrupt and go out of business.
Oh, yeah, and you're talking about 2 big businesses in the area.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Smith's is probably okay. They can survive. They may have lost out on $40,000. I don't know. I hope Erie County Farms can pay that bill, but I'd hate to see Erie County Farms go out of business, because then we'd have to go shopping in more expensive markets like.
Right.
Yeah, try getting in there on some days. You can't even get in the parking lot.
Sometimes I think, though, if you want to get a Smith's hot dog, probably Erie County Farms was the cheapest place to get them, so maybe it was like, I don't know what they call it, loss leader or something, where you just make a penny or two on something to get people in, and maybe they just miscalculated, but still, as much volume as Erie County Farms has, they should have $40,000 to pay their hot dog, their ham and hot dog.
Let's hope it's nothing bad.
Yeah, I hope it's not bad too, because I don't go over there that often, but I do go over there.
Oh, I shop there. It's I go there to get my exercise.
Yeah.
Get belted a couple times, get back in shape.
Yeah. I wish I would have saw that article. I'm going to have to look through the old papers and see if I can find it.
I downloaded
Oh,
the
okay.
paper.
Yeah, I missed it too.
Yeah.
It'd be in today's, or I don't know. It was just on. I think it was on Jets.
Oh, okay.
Wow, usually my mother will keep me informed of what I miss.
Find out more. I'd like to hear your opinion on it.
Well, yeah, my opinion would be that right now I'd be saddened if, Erie County Farms was in any kind of trouble. I think it's an asset to the community.
How much is a pound of hot dogs there, though?
I'd like to know more
It's,
why they couldn't come to an agreement.
Yeah, I know it. And, you're talking about 2 of the very sacred institutions. If you don't believe that, I tell the story about A.J. Uwe, the conductor. How he told people, you have to go to Erie County Farms to learn about what Erie's all about.
Yeah, it's vital to that part. Everybody goes there,
Well,
but that part of town, it's really
But it's a
important.
cross-section of Erie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It really.
And I know the owner. She does wonderful things for the community.
Yeah. But when you think about it, with Erie County Farms and Tops are really all that's left over there now, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Walmart, you had Walmart.
Oh, okay, yeah, Walmart. That's right, Walmart.
Farms probably brings business to the Save-A-Lot grocery store on the north side of Fairmont Parkway, where Value City used to be.
Yeah, there is a grocery store there now. Little one, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
They redeveloped the old Masons building.
Oh, yeah, on the end there.
Okay, yeah.
That's when you know
yeah.
you're old, when you call it the Masons building.
Yeah, I know, I do, yeah, you forget, yeah.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah. Anything else exciting out there in your world?
No.
Yeah. I mean, it's our world too, but,
If you find out more about,
Yeah, I'm going to check in. I'm hoping that it's not bad news because as I say, she's a marvelous lady, does great things. The store is great. The Smith Provision is great. We're talking about two institutions that,
let you know why, or if it's possible for them to get together, or if Erie County Farms has any other problems paying their bills, I sure would hate to see them fold up. Or
I don't know, she's been in business a long time, and
Yeah, but they changed, like she used to have all kinds of food before. You can see it's more empty.
I've watched that store grow over the years, and
maybe another caller has information, so thank you.
thank you.
Oh.
I always joke with her. She fired me once.
Did she?
A whole bunch of us. We couldn't unload watermelons fast enough off the truck. We were young kids. I think you got a couple bucks to unload a truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're young, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
We weren't working fast enough. I always joke with her. I said, but it was.
I remember Erie County Farms from the west side of town. It was
Oh yeah.
near between
Avenue.
Green Garden and Browns Avenue.
When you had the tent, though, I started out with it.
Yeah.
What do you got to offer today? Anything?
No,
Hey, I cut you off last week. We
well,
ran out of
the
time.
couple things were it was good news with the hockey team.
Yeah.
Of local interest. I'm a believer in local investment and using your own money.
Well,
That's why I'm not crazy about authorities and stuff. But when I hear somebody's going to use their own money and invest in Erie, I like that because they got skin in the game.
He was actually thinking, if you listened to the news last night, he was, I don't know if he's still going to do it, but he's got a little interest in the Seawolves.
Yeah.
And the thing is, and I've said this for years, that's why I said, I've seen pro sports go and come and go. Problem is, the only time you really feel safe is the old days. We had Doc Caruso running the old Erie Blades, local guys. That's why I felt real good when Owen and Jamie Meade and I don't know, all his partners bought the Bayhawks. I said, that's good because that's local. When you get away from local, you start to worry because you're waiting for, they're a corporation. They look at raw numbers. You have a couple bad years, they're out of here.
Look at Hammermill. Once it got out of, the...
What's going on with the Hammermill site now? Except that one plant, that one.
Well, they're marketing it, but I don't know how successfully,
Oh, and that'd be a good location for
We
something.
keep hearing that they're marketing it, but nothing ever comes. I joked about the Savacchio.
business.
I call it the biggest sod factory in the world. We got a lot of sod factories in here. You know what that means?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, go out there. We could sell sod and what's not there.
Yeah.
I don't know what the problem is. Somewhere down the line, and I believe it's a problem with a lot of things. It's local, it's state. Okay.
Communications.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you look at Pennsylvania, they're coming close to losing a lot of things. They almost lost Hershey, almost lost Harley Davidson. You're looking at other things around. We gain some, but we almost lose some, okay? And for some reason, we need an organized plan that promotes a commonwealth. And we locally, we can't be afraid to offer things that, like when Smith Provision needed something, I think we overlook our own local people a lot of times with loans and all that,
Well, there's a loan on the agenda for Wednesday. It's a $2 million low-interest loan to LECOM. I think it's going to be used to convert the Lord's administrative building into their dental school, which is a good thing.
That's in Mill Creek.
No, that's still Erie.
That's up on up.
Parts in Erie, parts in Mill Creek, but
it's still that's an Erie property. That was an Erie.
I think it's on both sides of the border.
Yeah.
Some parts are in Erie, some parts are in there.
See, it's on this side of 79.
I think part of their school is on the other side too, but basically it's in Erie, so.
But it's a $2 million loan, and again, hey, let's get that dental school up and going. I mean, that is a good
Yeah,
thing.
you know how many dental schools are in PA? Well, I'm just saying, you can't, outside of Pittsburgh, maybe Penn State, there's not a lot of them, I wouldn't think.
Duke and Penn State probably have dental schools.
It does, I know that, but I mean, yeah, that's one of those things that, these are older kids. You know, they're serious, they're not, by the time you get to that stage in your academic career, okay, they're pretty good kids, and, you know, they're bringing a lot to the table that, you know what, it's good because they bring clinics with them that help the community. Wherever you have these hospitals, these, what they call teaching hospitals, you know.
I mean, that whole facility, you know, I mean, it could be a way that some unfortunate people can go get some work.
Well, they got to, you know, the old saying is they got to practice.
Yeah.
And what they do, if you've seen what they did on Peach Street, you know, they're building that senior center to deal with, you know.
Yeah.
But that's all teaching their kids, because if you go out of town, you go to, like, my daughter lives in Mississippi, and they got a huge medical school, like I think was down there. So, you know, the hospital, that's a training, just like Hershey Medical Center is Penn State's teaching hospital. In Pittsburgh, you go to, a lot of those are teaching hospitals. So you're getting bright students, you're learning from doctors that are really experienced. They can't hurt you, you know what I mean?
No.
So in the meantime, you got clinics that people that may not be able to, don't have the best lot in life.
Yes, but we'll go back to, okay, 48% of the city's tax-free.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll go back to Gannon, Mercier. Now, Mercier's, they got money. Gannon's got a ton of money. Where do you come up with nonprofit when they're making this kind of money? And what's the state senator? He's trying to change the rules.
I agree with you. At the same time right now, though, you can't, I mean, they already got the land claimed.
Right.
Okay? So, you know, you might as well help them, right?
Well, you help them, right.
You know, but go along and try to change the law that you want, okay? I'm never in favor of giving too much more, though. I mean, because, you know.
Like I said, go back to Gannon. They're making hand over fist of money.
Well, we got to come up with a way in society that.
Our state senator was supposed to go down there and try and change the law, that they pay a percentage of that.
Yeah.
Like Erie Insurance, they're asking for a tax reduction.
Big.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's going on here? We got, 48%, and most of the people in the area, I'd say, 50% are senior citizens.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're not alone in that. I mean, you take any city in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, but
okay?
I'm looking at Erie. I'm not worried about that.
No, I am, but I'm saying this is part of the problem you got is that even with all that clout, you know, when we go down to Harrisburg, there are still more people that aren't affected. Okay? You got these rural legislators and suburban that don't have the problem. Okay? So you take all the legislators that come out of Pittsburgh and Philly and Erie and Allentown and Bethlehem and Lancaster and York and Reading and Harrisburg. Okay, they don't equal the other side. Okay?
Yeah, but that's down the middle of the state, down towards Philly and Harrisburg. Erie's an island by itself in Pennsylvania.
I understand, but if you just look at it. 2 legislators come out of Erie.
2, right.
That affect the city. The rest, which is at least 3 or 4, I'm guessing, right? Because they got reapportionment now.
Yeah.
You got at least 3, maybe 4 that represent the other parts of the county. So you're outvoted when you get down there, okay? They're not necessarily worried about our problems in the city.
No, they're worried about the whole area.
Go ahead, caller.
Call upstairs the engineering and see what they're doing about these business sidewalks, and then I'll call back.
Hold up. About the sidewalks.
Business sidewalks.
I wish you would have given me some particular ones, but let's try it.
Short and sweet.
Well,
Let's try 1377.
who you calling?
Upstairs. I got to remember how to do this.
Baz has got the phone book now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's on top of stuff.
Wait, I think we got to go outside. Let's try that. Don't sound like we're getting an answer.
John Tushak.
Is not available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, John, we're on the air. If you're there, give me a call. This is Kaz. Let's see, we'll go up there. Well, there's your answer. Nobody's up there right now.
Nobody's up there.
Now, when the Lord's tears down 12th and Green Garden, the taxes are gone. They just have to pay the land tax, right, instead of the building tax.
Well, what they normally do, like GE did, they'll apply for reassessment.
Right.
Go ahead.
Well, I knew that was going to happen just like that.
You know what? I did ride around town, and I heard a rumor that a couple of businesses were told to clean up their lots, and I'm in the process of contacting the second one to verify.
Well, it's going to be great after tomorrow.
Oh, you mean when it snows again?
Well, we're going to get freezing rain and everything else, and
some of these mounds are right now. Wags knows something I didn't tell anybody, but I was kind of a victim of those snow mounds.
you were.
Yeah.
You took a skid too?
No. I got a little fender bender, but
Well, because you tried to get out and you couldn't see.
you can't see. I mean, some of these businesses are. I don't want to name them over the air, but you and I know where they are.
They're all over, and the whole thing about it, engineering is not doing their job. How many citations have they written down?
I don't know, to tell you the truth. I think the only way we can do this is let's make a complaint.
Well, I have. Many times. I've been doing this even when Jim Thompson was alive.
Yeah, I don't think we're, and I think
Pushing our ordinances.
I think it's a feeling with, it's a feeling that we're not aggressive like other communities.
That's true, and it's time to change.
If you were watching what they did in Boston,
Yes.
they were telling people, push your snow back, keep it away from the front of the property,
That's true.
I'm getting calls, and poor Mark, he paid dearly for his effort. I hang around a couple restaurants during the week, and for breakfast, you meet a lot of people. People stop you, and one of the biggest complaints has been the private haulers bringing their snow onto the boulevards or pulling on other people's property.
And the majority of the businesses.
Yeah, and I mean, that's wrong. Like, I used to catch a car lot that was pushing on school property.
Yep.
And, if you go up to Tech, you've seen how they cleared it out real nice, but other schools are getting hit by businesses that are, pulling snow on there. And, we're our own worst enemy. And
Like I said before, you should charge a fee like they used to do with the old garbage collectors.
I agree with you, and I think I'm going to bring it up, but you know what?
It's tough to bring something up when you got 4 or 5 of the mayor's bobbleheads and they only know which way to bobble.
Well, when I do it, I'm going to call a press conference, and I'm not going to allow myself to get trapped like Mark did, and get written up as a guy that's going after old ladies and old men, and, bring the downfall of the city.
He wasn't doing that. It was just the businesses.
Yeah, but you know what? He got hammered and ruthlessly. I'm going to meet with the Times and tell them just what I'm up to, because, they suggested it. But I don't want them writing me up as, I'm going after 88-year-old ladies or 90-year-old men that are out there shoveling, because the truth is, we got to start. Snow is not a new phenomenon like it is in Boston. We get 100 inches once in a while, 80 inches. We can't plow up to the corners no more. People can't see,
Yes, we've averaged almost 100 inches every year.
Yeah, my driveway is one third closed down right now. No, that's my problem. Okay, I don't take my snow on the other guy's property.
My snow is 6 feet high. It's taller than me. It's taller than Rich.
Yeah, mine's banked too. I was thinking the other day about I was going to try to get to the bird feeder, but I'd have to. It would take me an hour to scale the hill, and then I'm just joking.
Well, we've got about 3 or 4 crows. They come by all the time, and now they have to look for the food wherever it's at.
Yeah, I will say this: the plow guys were out. They were out good last night.
Yeah, I know. I got 14 feet into my driveway.
Yeah, they scraped it good, but you know what? And that's caused because a lot of people aren't. I don't know about your area.
But they're cleaning up here, with the exception of a couple of snowbirds down below that have their cars on the way.
You get where my mother lives, and they're not moving, and these poor guys now you got ice that's, 3 feet out from the curb.
Like you say, tomorrow it's going to warm up and rain and freeze. So it'll be a real treat. So, I heard the gentleman over there yapping that the state senator wants to form another authority.
Yeah, what he's doing is he's modeling his legislation off the previous one.
That's true. And the whole thing there, if the city would have did everything right the first time, as they told them to, if the solicitors upstairs did it properly, instead of trying to sneak it under the door and let the sewer authority take it over, would have gotten the money.
I think what they're looking for is an oversight authority, not one that...
authority, not something that's already been established.
Yeah, because remember, that CRIZ goes away after the project's done, to my knowledge. And like the parking authority, they have one director. They don't have a big board or none like that.
There's also a codify with that authority, that CRIZ. You give the state X amount of dollars if you get the CRIZ money. Did you know that?
No, say that again.
The state gets the X amount of dollars from this CRIZ money that they're bringing up. Rich knows about it. I believe he read the article or
the CRIZ as designed this is why the state wants oversight, independent oversight. They're allowing you to they're basically abrogating all their taxes that the state would collect, sales taxes, income tax in the area like.
But you give them a percentage.
I'm not sure, I've never seen the final draft as it was going to be. So the way I understand it is for that period of time, that money goes to the builders to, finish their project. The state is kind of loaning them their money to help, push the project forward. But I'm not sure about the rest of it because I've never seen, none of us have seen the final write-up of it.
The city will have to give the state so much money. It's just like that, the home blocking.
Well, like I say, we'll have to wait and see till the final passage comes out.
It'll be quite a ways down the road.
Well, actually, see, now that Allentown got it and Bethlehem got it, I think the state, at least under the previous governor, was a little shell-shocked. They didn't want to do any more because they were giving up a lot of income. But a lot of these cities, I think under the senator, under the way he wanted to do it, our senator, he wanted to expand it almost to the whole state.
He did, Sean Wiley.
Because you're getting a lot of people to say, hey, look what it did for Allentown. And there's no debate there. I've been to Allentown, no debate whatsoever. They completely transformed their center city. They have a state-of-the-art arena. They have a couple of businesses that relocated. They got some, nice hotel, convention center.
Oh, Reading's the same way.
Yeah, it's going to be, Reading was, they had a lot of things going for it before.
Yeah, but this is going to improve them too. So.
Well, yeah, you know what? Like I said to Ronnie here, I said, you don't have to agree with what's going on at the Bayfront, but, if you can get money to do it, to get these projects done, like Mr. Scott's project, get it off the ground and get it going.
Well, you got Scott, you got Griffin, you got Kidder.
I sat up there one day looking up from the hospital, and I said, man, look at...
Gorgeous view, isn't it?
Wow, and I was thinking, can you imagine what this would look like if these projects all come to fruition,
Yeah, it could be nice.
It could be nice.
I don't know. I looked out there for 3 weeks on the 3rd floor, and all I saw was snow and barren trees.
I kept looking at the
peninsula.
The princess over there, the ship.
Yeah.
And she was like, iced in, and I'm looking at these ice fishermen. I'm going, God, summer's got to be, spring has got to be around the corner.
Spring is probably the end of June. Well, have a great day.
You too, John.
Thanks, John.
We got our timekeepers doing pretty good so far. We haven't been warned.
So, he's saying we have to pay it back.
Well, no, he's saying,
What's his interpretation? What was your interpretation of what you were saying?
I've never said, next time I see the mayor of Allentown, I'm going to ask him how his worked, because the new ones are being proposed differently. Go ahead, caller.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
How you doing?
I think the streets department fantastic job.
I would agree with that.
I have one complaint, not a complaint, but I don't know why they do this. Yesterday, I live on East Avenue in the 3000 block. I live up by UCAS.
Okay.
And the streets were bare. They came up the street about 7 o'clock. 2 trucks plowed down, scraping the cement. 11 o'clock, wife was going to bed. Plows came up again, 2 trucks, scraping the cement. And I stayed up 12:30, 1:45, 2 trucks up the street, dragging the cement. I just came up State Street about 2 hours ago. And you can't drive in the 2 lanes. There's a car next to you. You have to let him go because the way the cars are parked away from the curb.
Mm-hmm. You're right, yeah.
Why don't they clean State Street off during the middle of the night when they have a slow time?
I don't know what their schedule is. I admit to, someday I'm going to, well, I keep saying that, but I want to take a ride with them. But I know they got a schedule. Like last night, I was surprised. They did my street so well. I was out there shoveling my driveway late at night so it wouldn't freeze over. Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to get out there. They did that good of a job,
You know, sir, I was on East 12th Street Friday night, and the roads are bad enough, but just what you talked about. They don't have the snow moved back to the curb, and when those people park, they're out into that 1 lane of traffic, and you really couldn't have 2 cars going almost next to each other because it was too narrow.
And I think this is what the Times was talking about, that we need to, as a council, we need to address the parking issue during winter. Like this gentleman says, that certain streets need to be, especially if you got driveways, get the cars off so that our guys can get it the first time. Now you got like ice and ruts. That's what you're saying, right, sir?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I think we need to be, I always said this, and I think the administration thinks, that, we're going to go after people that are going to get mad, but I think the majority of people would cooperate, to give our guys a chance to, clean their streets.
Yeah, but State Street's probably bare. At night, there's nobody parked down there.
No, you wouldn't think so, because, most of the people got cars up there, and I would say most of them have driveways. A lot of them are businesses, the schools, like around Academy, that's done,
Yeah. One other thing. On East Avenue, between 38th and Pine Avenue, there's a bunch of college kids up there. And when they park right opposite one another, you have a heck of a time getting your car through. I don't see how a garbage truck can get through, or a fire truck.
I heard we had an issue the one night. I was going to talk with the chief when I see him, that we had an issue somewhere on the east side. They actually, maybe it was the west side. I'm trying.
Yeah, they can't park on the east.
They couldn't get the fire truck.
I bet.
Okay, that's all I want to say.
Yeah, I agree with you, sir. And I tell you this, I was talking with the parking authority on this issue, and we're going to have a meeting with council about, possibly looking at more enforcement of the parking regulations.
Okay, that's all I have to say.
No problem. Yeah, we're gonna look at that about how we can get them to get out more, because we got kids that don't want to move, and like this guy, how are you going to get up that street? You can't. Go ahead, caller.
I heard we're bringing in the icebreaker.
Yeah, for the Coast Guard's coming in here.
That on Channel 24.
Yeah.
Now, where in the hell are these guys going to go? Are they going to take a freighter out, and where's it going to go?
Well, they do keep. From what I'm not an expert in this. I wish I had Mr. Kissel here. He's kind of like our.
He's a hero.
Eddie would know the answers to this, but I do think they warn you that they do keep the lanes open on Lake Erie. I don't know how much business is out there, but they're not coming into the bay, from what I understand. They're keeping it out in the lake.
I thought they were coming in, the boats are coming in.
Oh, from what I heard, they're Channel 24, they put out an advisory for all the ice fishermen.
Oh, that means they must be going to move one of those ships then.
They're probably going at least to Don John, and they're going to start to, crack ice.
Yeah. Maybe they got a couple ready to go that, because initially they said they weren't going to do the bay. They're probably going to do the area, the channel out there, and the area near Don John. And yeah, that would probably affect the ice around it, that. Probably the West Bay would be okay, but.
Like I said, I don't see where they're going to go.
I don't either. The ice is pretty, what they were saying, Lake Erie was 94% covered. But they do say that every once in a while they will open up the shipping lanes but I'm not aware of any ships that are using it right now.
I just think they're bringing it.
I'll tell you what, Kaz, they're doing this probably 2-3 weeks early. There's no way. I'm
going to call Eddie Kissel if I get a chance, and maybe he knows something that he seems to have a target with, anything to do with the waterfront.
When's that icebreaker supposed to show up, sir?
I guess today.
Oh.
Wow, yeah, they were out there, I heard,
Yeah, huh. The only thing I saw was tomorrow's supposed to be warm, and then the weekend's supposed to be, the weekend's above freezing. Not warm is the wrong word, but above freezing. Maybe but I just can't imagine it staying open water for very long, no matter what you do to it out there. Yeah.
As far as I know, these freighters, they're heading up to Duluth, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Correct?
That's where most of them go, I think.
They're Detroit.
Yeah.
They go up to Duluth a lot because that's where they bring the taconite pellets in and all that.
Yeah.
You ever been to Duluth? Sir?
Like I said, it's probably worse up there as far as ice.
Oh, yeah. You ever been to Duluth?
They're just moving a couple weeks early, if you ask me.
Have you ever been to Duluth, sir?
No, I haven't, but I would like to go.
Well, it's a great city. You'll have a good time. I was there in the summer, but I was watching the news. It's like one of the coldest spots in the United States, consistently.
Yeah.
So you got to feel like, here's the thing, though. The lakes up there don't freeze as much.
Oh.
They got a lot of open water, so I guess if they can get out of Lake Erie, they got a chance to, work the lakes a little bit. It's Lake Erie because we're shallow that gets,
Yeah, and we're at the shallow end of Lake Erie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you've been up there, I guess they have locks up there and.
Yeah, they do have locks to get through the various, go from one lake to the other. It's really, when you look at Duluth, it's an old port town. They got this huge bridge that raises up, and there's a lot of ships there. They even have a couple ships as museums. So, it's a big seaport.
Yeah, it's big maritime.
Yeah, you got Thunder Bay and Duluth, Sault Ste. Marie up there, and Port Huron and all that.
During the summer, that would be a great place to visit, no doubt. During the summer. Yeah,
they were showing these Apostle Island caverns, and I saw them in the summer under good conditions. And it's really a nice trip if you ever have a time to go up there.
Yeah, that is nice country up there. Wisconsin, Minnesota, that is beautiful.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, guys, I'll let you go.
Thank you.
Yep, it's I can't imagine, maybe they want to get going.
Yeah, maybe.
I got to ask
maybe
Eddie.
They want to get one of those maybe they're done with one of those boats down there, and they
you got to figure. Hey, you got to figure pretty soon it'll be done.
Oh yeah.
Because I was watching them, it was like they were working on them. There's about 3 up there?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but Don John's is a little bit of a
I think
success.
there's one in Don John, there's one in the dry dock next to it, another one down, and.
Yeah, but Don John's seemed to turn the corner, and.
Let's hope, because you know what, when Lytton was there, they had great hopes.
Yeah.
And I think we did build a couple of ships at one time, 1,000-footers, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, but yeah.
If Eddie Kissel don't know, I doubt if.
No one would know that. Yeah. But yeah, Cass, we'll see. The cities, we're at a crossroads here. We talk about the problems paving, and I go back to we don't have driveways in so many of these neighborhoods.
Yeah.
But now we got 2 cars at every address. You just,
No.
I don't know how you would,
What's he doing?
you know, it's a problem. It's a serious problem.
Yeah.
And even if you have parking odd and even, there's just too many cars. The math doesn't.
I was laughing when Jim Casey, because I work with Tom, but Jim Casey wanted porches.
Yeah.
And I was reading a study, they're saying, this is what's wrong with the neighborhoods. We don't have porches. Nobody takes control of neighborhoods. And I met with a neighborhood watch group, and, they're trying. The people are trying.
Yeah.
And this is going to be, we all got to take back our neighborhood slowly.
Yeah.
And, it's a shame that the federal government has run out of money because we're involved in defense and all that stuff now, where our infrastructure is hurting.
And that's HUD. I mean, we don't get any money from HUD anymore.
No, look at Bradford. I mean, poor Bradford had that tremendous water break.
Yeah.
You're talking about Zippo and the oil industry up there being hurt,
But I want to say something. Ron said something about the Lord's site.
Yeah.
Develop Erie bought that Lord's property.
Right, where they got the park.
They're cleaning it up. No, the plant. So Develop Erie, during all those gyrations with moving them up to the Bush Industries, somehow they bought that property from Lord's and gave them X amount of dollars, but our Develop Erie is cleaning it up. It's going to be another brownfield site. So Lord's is kind of done with it, and now up at Bush Industries. And it's a good thing. Hey, but I'm glad the Lord Corporation is here. I'm happy.
What I'm saying, they should have cleaned it up.
Well, yeah, they should have, but see, it's one of them deals again. Maybe Hammermill should have probably cleaned up that site on 10th Street too, but nobody makes them do anything, it seems.
Remember when we were young?
Yeah.
Out of sight,
Yeah.
out of mind.
Just the Gaff property. The Gaff property's cleaned up to whatever standard they talk about, but encapsulated down there is like an asbestos-laden little tar pit that you don't want to puncture.
That's why when they're digging now,
they got to be careful where they dig.
That's kind of why, even though I disagreed with the plan, I didn't want to put the parking lot there, but I can understand why they did it, because they can't put housing on top of that.
Yeah.
They can put businesses, restaurants, believe it or not, because they're not occupied full-time by the same people. But that was a difficulty they had with that. You got, if you look, Rich has seen it.
Yeah.
There's like a big zone of
where you it's okay if it's not residential. You can't put residential in,
Right.
Yeah, you could put a stadium on there or something like that, but
Something that covers it.
but nobody can live there.
It's like the Harper dump.
Yeah.
Cover it up, put a golf course. Oh,
And-
at the airport.
And where did the time go?
Yeah.
Are we off the air?
We said
I'm not sure if we're off the air or not.
Well, I want to thank you, Rich
Yeah.
and
Oh,
Ron.
yeah, Ron,
And
yeah.
we got to thank our engineer,
Mike. Yeah.
Mike. He will never come out though, but we got to thank him. Without him, there is no show.
And I'm going to get out there before I get a ticket, because it would make me mad if I got a ticket. Because I put money in the meter,
Well, thank you guys for coming.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah.
Are we off the air?
There now.
All right.
Well, I'm taking on
I got to get going. You going too?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, help him.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching the Taxpayers Hotline Show on Erie's own Government Access, Channel 9.